Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of the Bree Sports Center. I'm your host, Bradford Ambrose. Alongside me, a familiar face, Wayne Epps Jr., sports editor, and a new face to the program, Haley Thompson, also sports editor at the Breeze. Welcome to the program. And so we're going to first start off with football. Football won their home opener this past Saturday against Central Connecticut State, 38-14. Post-game press conference, Mickey was slightly worried about their performance. They got tired easily. I think Mickey was talking about how Birdsong got tired towards the end of the first, and so that's one of the things they wanted to work on. So Wayne, let's talk about Saturday.
Right. Again, Coach Matthews is a little bit concerned with conditioning. This summer has been a bit of a cooler summer than in the past. So coming out here in game situation, game speed, he was a little concerned about the conditioning. He even said that he would have taken Birdsong out if he had been a veteran quarterback, but this is only his third career start, so he kept him in. Now the fact it was probably all the running that Birdsong did. They said that the Central Connecticut defense kind of surprised him a little bit, and they had to do some undesigned runs, and Birdsong ran a lot. He ran for 2 touchdowns, but still was more running than was anticipated. So that they had to have a play factor in his conditioning as well. So it was a little bit of an interesting game. Again, more running than passing, as everyone was expecting it would be in Michael Cain's new offense. Again, they played a pretty good game, but it was pretty interesting.
And so let's take a listen to what Mickey had to say on Saturday.
I thought Michael Birdsong really got tired. I thought the layoff really showed out. He was spent there late in the first quarter. I told Mike to quit. We couldn't throw the ball. He couldn't. He was almost. I don't know if y'all could tell how tired he was. I mean, he was extremely tired. But the good thing about Mike, he competed really well. He didn't throw the ball in the crowd. You know, when you get, as long as I've been coaching, the biggest problem you have with young quarterbacks is turning the ball over, and he didn't turn the ball over. He didn't throw it in the crowd, and that was good. And he made some great throws.
All right, Haley, and now let's talk about Daquan Scott.
Yeah, it's interesting. He, in the post-game press conference, said he had the sloppiest game of his life, yet he rushed 120 yards and ended up being CAA Player of the Week. So for looking sloppy, I'm excited to see what happens the rest of the season when he's on his game.
All right, and now we're going to shift to field hockey. They are 2-0, and preseason poll ranked them 3rd in the CAA, Wayne.
Right, they've been on a roll. They outscored opponents 13-2 this weekend. They came out Friday and had a 5-1 win over Kent State to start the season, and on Sunday they continued that success and had an 8-1 win over Ball State. So they've really been killing it out there. Taylor West, a junior, she has 5 goals already, and she's leading the team in goals. No one else on the team has more than 1 goal apiece. So she's really been successful out there so far this season. So it'll be interesting to see if they can continue that this weekend. So I'm going to go on the road.
All right, now we're going to talk about men's soccer. They are also 2-0, and they were also ranked 3rd in the CAA in preseason poll. They're showing some muscle early.
Right, men's soccer, Josh Grant, as we kind of expected, is kind of taking the reins from after Paul White, the leading goal scorer last season, departed. Paul had 9 goals last season, where Josh was right behind with 7. And again, he stepped up into that role. He stepped up into that role. He has 3 goals this season. He had 2 penalty kick goals on Sunday, and a 3-0 win. He had 1 goal and a 2 overtime win over Fordham. So he's really been playing really well, and it'll be interesting again to see if they can continue their success this weekend. So two JMU teams right there really getting their season started off well.
All right, and so now we're going to talk. Haley's going to talk more about women's soccer. They also are 2-0 right now.
2-2.
2-2. Okay, and so Haley, let's talk about that.
Yeah, they've split their games so far. They beat Richmond and Marshall, then fell to LaSalle and Tennessee, and Tennessee was this past weekend. So coming off a loss, we'll see what they do, but so far it's looking all right.
Okay, and so let's shift back to football now. We're going to preview this Saturday's game against Akron. The Dukes are going to head up to Akron, Ohio,
right,
and play the Zips. what was it, the past 3 years, the Zips have only won 3 games?
Right.
Is that the stat?
Right.
So talk about them.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game. Again, they've been 1-11 the past 3 seasons. And they won 3 games this season before that, so they've been kind of a struggling program. So you look for JMU to come out there, go up there and get a win. But they are a bowl subdivision team. They're not a championship subdivision team. So they're a tier above us, but they haven't had much success. So it should be a good game, and I'm interested to see if they open up the pass game a little bit more than they did this weekend against Central Connecticut State. And so it was good to see what the first road test of the season holds. So.
All right, and during the game on Saturday, JMU unveiled the new convocation floor. Heard a lot of opinions about it. Some people dislike it. Some people sort of like it. So what do y'all think?
I personally, I don't think it's the worst thing. It's decent. It's definitely a creative design. You can tell they're trying to be a little bit different than the norm out there. If you haven't seen it, it has 2 Duke dogs kind of near the key on either side. They're kind of facing the crowd on either side, and they kind of fade into the court, and then there's a JMU script logo in the middle of the court. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's not the norm. There's been a lot of negative reaction out there, but I think it's decent. It's not my favorite, but we'll see how it looks in person.
Yeah, and I think from seeing a lot of what people have had to say about it, they're all kind of saying the same thing. It's not like it's necessarily that bad or anything. It's definitely unexpected, but everybody is kind of giving JMU credit for just, putting it out there and doing something unique. So we'll see. I mean, the fact that they haven't painted it yet, maybe that means they're waiting to hear from everybody what, they think about it. I'm not really sure, but I guess athletic department will probably release something about what they've heard from the feedback soon, I'm sure.
All right. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Bree Sports Center. I'm Bradford Ambrose.